What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, another video of JIP Spooled Fishing. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different from what we have been doing in the last couple of videos. Recently, South Carolina has had a nasty cold snap. We had snow, probably around 5 inches of snow, which is unheard of for Charleston area, in the southern portion of South Carolina. And it has lasted for 3 or 4 days. Fortunately, it's melted about a week ago. However, the temperatures are continuously staying below freezing, and it is having a drastic impact on our fishery. I've actually been doing a little bit of research on the South Carolina DNR website. If you guys have any more questions, then be sure to check out the website. I'll put that in the channel description below, as a matter of fact. So, basically what's happening is the waters are dropping into well, they're not anymore. They're in the high 40s, which is still super freezing. However, they were in the low 40s, like the very low 40s. Like I think it hit 42 degrees once. And what this is having is it's having a huge impact, a huge toll on our fish and shrimp and crustaceans, basically our marine wildlife in Charleston, especially in the inshore waters. And the fish that has suffered the most from this cold weather is the sea trout, one of the biggest game fish in South Carolina. So basically what's happened is the sea trout, they cannot migrate. They don't go offshore. They always stay in the marshes and the estuaries their whole entire life. And fish such as sheepshead, redfish, black drum, and other species, what they'll do is when it gets cold, they'll go offshore into deeper water where it's warmer. However, these sea trout, for some reason, they cannot. So they'll all huddle in the deepest pockets of the estuary, which aren't that deep, and they'll end up freezing to death. And also, they're subtropical fish, and so these sea trout, they're used to warmer waters, and they need warmer waters to survive. But when these waters are dipped into the 40s, they die off. And the DNR is actually requesting people to catch and release sea trout and not to keep sea trout until September, until fall of 2018, this year. That's ridiculous. For us, we don't keep any fish, so it's not going to affect us. However, the people who love to eat fish, it's really going to affect them. One of my favorite fish to catch is sea trout. And we have recently found some epic spots for sea trout, but they're really shallow places where all those sea trout are dead. The DNR has had hundreds of cases, well over 100 cases, maybe that was an exaggeration, of people calling in reporting dead fish. And sea trout, they're the most impacted. However, redfish, sheepshead, mullet, and shrimp have all also been affected a little bit. This cold weather has also made all the fish very lethargic, so apparently the best way to catch fish right now is to go on a low tide on the flats and sight fish for redfish with artificial flies or bait. And apparently you have to have some perfect casts because these fish are very lethargic, especially in this very cold, clear water. Apparently the schools are 50 to even up to 200 fish. And so basically when we see the wakes, you're supposed to cast your line and lead them by a good bit because they are very skittish in this cold water. However, I've never really done a lot of sight fishing for redfish in my life, and I'm worried that all my great spots that I have for fishing, because most of them are in shallow water, I'm worried that all the fish are just going to be completely wiped out. So that's really what we're scared of. However, fortunately, we have the boat, so we're going to be able to find some new places in some deeper water that we won't have to worry about our fish dying whenever it gets winter again. So now we're going to go to the depth finder. We got ourselves just a little Garmin striker. Nothing big at all. Just, yeah, it's a fish finder and it's a depth finder. That's about what we need. We're pretty low maintenance when it comes to this kind of stuff, especially with a smaller boat. And I'm going to show you guys what this thing looks like. So here we have our Garmin striker. Let's pop this baby on real quick. Oh, gotta hold it down. Little beep. Says good old Garmin on the black screen. So we actually got to route our wires through our cup holder, which is really nice because we're not going to use that anyway. And they end up going under the boat here. And then down to the transducer, which is below and behind the motor. Our transducer is not attached, not plugged in right now, not connected to our depth finder right now. So I'm going to quickly turn this on to a little demo just to show you guys what this thing has to offer. Oh, it's getting a little bit out of focus. So here is just a basic simulation of what our little depth finder has to offer. Let me focus it in. There we go. So this is just a simulation. We're obviously not in the water right now, so we have a bunch of different little options here, including a waypoint map, and also you can there's like a little mini GPS on this thing, so you can go back to your fishing spots. However, the one we're gonna be using the most, I'm pretty sure, is just this little traditional mapper right here. Let's select that, And as you can see, I'm assuming that these, I have to learn how to read these things. However, I'm assuming these little motions are bait fish, and some of the bigger markings are probably game fish or whatever. And the biggest thing that we want is to focus on this depth right here, because as far as it goes with marshes, it can go from 20 feet to 2 feet like that, just super fast, not even a second. And so it's very important to be able to pay attention to your depths when you notice it getting shallower, just for our safety. If you guys ever find yourself getting a boat, be sure to have a depth finder, because I want you guys to be safe, and I'm sure you want to be safe as well. So that pretty much wraps it up for this little Garmin Striker depth finder. I'm really stoked about this because we're going to get to adventure to some new spots we've never fished, hopefully discover some honey holes, and get you guys some great fishing footage in the future. And I'm stoked to take you guys along with me on my fishing adventures as we discover all these fun fishing spots, and hopefully we're going to catch some big ones. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Not the most exciting video, not the longest video. However, hopefully you guys learned a little something from this, and hopefully you understand now why I'm not putting up all these great fishing videos left and right, because of our stupid freaking freeze. I hope these fish rebound quickly, because I'm getting to that point where I just want to fish, and I want to fish. The more I fish, the more I become addicted, and I hope that's the same case with you guys. Remember to subscribe, like, all that stuff. That's all appreciated if you enjoyed the video. See you in the next video.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.